China is planning to invade Taiwan this fall. Tank battles on the streets of Mariupol, Ukraine. This did not save Meta from becoming extremist organization on the territory of Russia. Protesters in Kherson, Ukraine were allegedly shot at by Russian army that it is too early to talk about personal negotiations between Zelensky and Putin. Ukrainian army is now fighting back to take its own territory. What's up, investors? It's the Russian Dude and this is your daily update on Russian-Ukrainian war. There has been an independent survey asking whether investors are ready to invest in the Russian stock market. And the results are 57% are ready to buy stocks of Russian companies, 41% are ready to buy Russian government bonds, and 75% of people are ready to invest long term. Previously, Japan imposed sanctions on Russia, and Russian response was that there is not going to be a peaceful resolution. In return, Russia will also impose sanctions on Japan. Even until today, there are multiple marauders in Ukraine, and people still catch them, detain and humiliate. This is the satellite image from Mariupol, Ukraine. One of the biggest hackers group, Anonymous, said that they'll be hacking all the companies that are not leaving Russian market. They gave international companies 48 hours to withdraw from Russia, otherwise they'll become targets of this hackers group. Last week, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, called Putin a war criminal, which obviously created a very negative reaction in Russia. As a result, American ambassador in Russia, John Sullivan, was invited to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia, and he was told that this behavior by Joe Biden is unacceptable, which puts at risk all the future relations between America and Russia. This is the video of tank battles on the streets of Mariupol, Ukraine. And if you want to continue receiving such daily updates, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends or anywhere else you want. Thank you so much and let's continue. As of today, the total military support of the United States to Ukraine has exceeded $2 billion. This Monday, the Moscow Stock Exchange finally opened for trading after being on break for 3 weeks. First of all, government bonds were allowed to be traded, and as soon as people started exchanging Russian treasuries, the price went significantly down, which in return increased the coupon payments of these bonds. So as a result, the interest rates of short-term government bonds of Russia has reached more than 20%. Just for comparison reasons, the yields of short-term treasury bonds in America are somewhere between 0.4 and 1.2%. After Meta has been heavily criticized for allowing to send death threats to Russian soldiers, its representatives said that they changed their policies. As for now, finally, you are no longer able to wish death to Russians on Facebook and Instagram. But this did not save Meta from becoming extremist organization on the territory of Russia. Therefore, as a content creator from Russia, if you buy advertisements from Facebook or Instagram, you can be prosecuted with criminal charges. And the justification for these charges is the financing of criminal organization. Besides that, you are also no longer able to demonstrate the logos of Facebook or Instagram. And if you want to do this, you have to mention that these are extremist organizations prohibited on the territory of Russia. And these are the current punishments for breaking the following laws in Russia. If you finance a criminal organization in Russia, you can get up to 10 years in jail. And if you demonstrate the logos of extremist organizations, you can be fined up to 50,000 rubles, which is, according to current exchange rate, is approximately $500. Fitch Rating Agency is assuming that the inflation in Russia by the end of this year will reach 18%. Besides that, Fitch also expects that the GDP of Russia will decline by 8% by the end of 2022. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia presented their requirements to the US if they want to keep diplomatic relations. And two most important requirements is to stop threatening Russians and to stop sending weapons to Ukraine. One of the biggest container shipments companies in the world, Maersk, said that they slowly started to stop doing business with Russia. US and NATO representatives mentioned that according to their intelligence, Belarusian military could soon join war in Ukraine. In response to Russia threatening to ban YouTube on its territory, Google started to evacuate its employees. Since McDonald's now is technically outlawed in Russia, this company called Dядя Vanya, which is also a food company, decided to take its logo. So obviously it did not take its famous M, it just simply rotated it and added this line. These graphs show the share of international currencies in which international global financial reserves are held. The US Admiral John Aquilino says that China has fully militarized its islands, which once again confirms the fact that China is actively looking for options options to engage Taiwan. According to alleged Russian intelligence leaks, China is planning to invade Taiwan this fall. The government of Russia proposed that Russia should leave World Trade Organization. The president of the US, Joe Biden's approval rating is at all-time lows, which is around 40%. The press secretary of the Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz, said that Germany will not be able to survive without Russian resources in the nearest future. Russian embassy in London, UK, is illuminated with Ukrainian flag. The biggest opposition force in Russia, Alexei Navalny, was jailed last year. And today there were more hearings in regards to his allegedly crimes. As a result of those hearings, he received 9 years of jail time as well as 1.2 million rubles in fines. And as of today's exchange rate, 1.2 million rubles is approximately $12,000. A guy in Moscow, Russia, was arrested today because he was holding this poster, and his fine was 50,000 rubles, which is approximately $500. Criminal charges were brought upon Russian journalist Alexander Nevzorov, and the reason for these charges is because he published allegedly fake news about bombings in Mariupol. If those charges will be confirmed, he is risking at getting 10 years in jail. Some people in Belarus who are crossing Ukrainian borders are receiving their passports with markings saying "Glory to Ukraine." One guy in Russia had these lights which resembled Ukrainian flags in his apartment. Some of his neighbors complained to the police, and police went to check on this person, though the person never opened the door and it is assumed there is no one at home. But in case the owner of the apartment is found and he refuses to turn on these lights, he is facing $500 charge. Both Russia and Ukraine strongly disapproves their civilians from posting the position of their military vehicles, because previously one Ukrainian guy posted this picture where you were able to see military vehicles of Ukraine. Some Russians saw this, recognized the place, and artillery strikes were ordered, destroying everything. This is the way residents of Kherson, Ukraine, are meeting their liberators from Russia. A Russian couple in Germany was denied this service by a German airline company called Lufthansa, and it is said that the reason why they were denied is simply because they had Russian passports. These are the pictures of completely destroyed mall in Kiev, Ukraine. The press secretary of Russia, Dmitry Peskov, said that it is too early to talk about personal negotiations between Zelensky and Putin. And the reason for this is because there is simply nothing concrete to talk about. Though previously, just a couple of weeks ago, Dmitry Peskov said it was Ukraine who was declining negotiations between Zelensky and Putin. After so many international companies were forced to leave Russian market, it was obvious that the prices will go up. But this person here complains that the prices even for Russian-produced groceries are also increasing significantly. Protesters in Kherson, Ukraine, were allegedly shot at by a Russian army and were also bombed. Some people in Kyrgyzia are supporting Russia. The representative of Germany, Lars Klingbeil, said that it will be impossible to restore diplomatic relations between Germany and Russia for as long as Putin is at power. The representatives of US defense forces say that Ukrainian army is now fighting back to take its own territory. One of the biggest hacker group called Anonymous previously threatened that those international companies which will not leave Russian market will be their target. And so the first target of Anonymous is Nestle. The representatives of Anonymous said that they hacked more than 10 gigabytes of data, which includes personal and business contacts. Thank you so much for your attention, stay safe and see you next time.